I remember when the three of us did Love It's together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, what was that? That was 2009?
That was the first time we ever saw you
Wow.
do stand-up.
And
Yeah, that club's not even around anymore.
Oh.
that club never felt good to me, but I loved the idea of it.
Yeah.
It was just in City Walk, walking to the club was just like, you know, it felt like I'm on vacation, you know? And then you
It did
walk.
feel like a road gig.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a road gig.
That's true.
But then the way it was set up, where the balconies were just straight up above you.
Yeah, it worked. It was like stadium seating, but without the transition. It was
Right.
just like the stage was the size of my couch, and there was just each row of people only held like 20 people, and there was here, and then one on the third floor, and then like one on the
Right.
fifth floor, and it was just what's going on here?
I've done it. I did it once where the entire place was packed, bottom floor, every level, and it was actually pretty cool. It was pretty good. Damn, that club was crazy. Do you remember when the three of us did Irvine?
Oh, yeah.
Was that Brent's show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I have a different feeling of that show than you guys do. I think the three of us probably have three completely different feelings.
What's your
of
feeling of it?
Yeah, I mean, it'll take it a minimum 3 minutes to tell you. And I'll tell you my feeling of the show and also my realization that came after the show, but I'll package it all together.
Should we tell people what happened first, or do you want to explain?
Well, that's what it is.
Okay, go ahead. Your feeling of it.
So Brent is headlining a show at Irvine in the way like we talked about before, where it's Brent's show. People are buying tickets to see Brent. And I went down to Irvine to do a guest spot. Brent let me do 10 minutes. I had just gotten out of a breakup that made me punch a wall, and I was in the mood to try some shit.
Michael Anochi was hosting.
Yeah.
It was a fun night.
So I go up on stage, and I do a classic knock-knock joke.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
there?
Oh, never mind. You guys have already heard this.
Oh, that's okay.
Right? Got some laughs. Go on. 15 seconds later, somebody goes, "Who's there?" So I go, "Oh, it got the laugh. That was just a joke."
Okay.
Keep going.
So then about another minute into what could be a good enough at least set, the guy goes, "Who's there?"
Again.
Yeah. And I said, I made a choice, which was, I already asked him to stop. This guy's not going to stop. I know this guy wants to do this thing. I'm only doing 10 minutes. I like to take big swings. I tend to find it. I don't know how quick I find it. I may sabotage the set, but I got another 8 minutes. I'll find it within 8 minutes.
Okay.
So I used kind of the emotion that I was feeling at the moment with the breakup and the stuff outside of stand-up, and I pretended I was so affected by the who's there.
Right.
And I started crying down the face, tears, explaining that it was just a knock-knock joke where I was making fun. Have you ever said, and then I'm so mad at him because he's bullying me. And have you ever said, then I shouldn't have done that joke, whatever. But now we're like 3 minutes in and I have to explain to you I'm making a joke. If you don't think it's funny, then it's not funny, but let me just do my fucking thing. And it gets cold. This guy went from, he wanted to, I don't know what his intentions were, but he was definitely, heckling.
Yeah.
And he went from, oh, I'm going to be funny, to this. And felt so bad of what felt that he was doing to me. I was melting down. And in my head, how ironic. Imagine a guy who's literally losing his mind over a knock-knock joke. If there was any type of joke that's funny to lose your mind over it not working, it's why did the chicken cross the road or a knock-knock joke.
Yeah.
I am now in the pocket because in my head I'm tapped. Once you get the watery eyes, it's easy to keep them going. I'm crying, I'm bringing up bullying's relevant. So I'm talking about how in high school, the stuff that was happening and how we need to stand up for people. And nowadays, at least people are able to go on YouTube with note cards to explain their problem, but I don't have note cards thinking like, oh, that's a funny bit. But everyone just thinks I'm having a panic attack. So we don't want him to jump off the stage.
Right.
So I got the light, so I have about a minute left. And I go, well, I haven't figured it out yet. So I go, and I collect myself, and I wipe my tears, and I go, you know what? I'm sorry. I lost my cool a little bit. I would like to try the knock-knock joke. will you guys give me a chance? And I don't know if you remember, but before lettuce was thrown at me,
Yeah.
there was a few. The place went fucking mental. It was like. It was, not for the right reason, but it was like, oh, here, like, yeah, don't jump.
Right.
So they're cheering. So now I'm thinking, got him. So now confident guy goes, knock, knock. The entire place, who's there? Amos. Amos who? A mosquito bit me. Hold. Boo! Boo! And I go, Jesus. And I just go, all right, I'm sorry. Enjoy the rest of the show. And then there's people I've bombed almost every set, but I've never had that happen before.
It was. Are you done?
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I have more of what I realized what it did to you
Go
guys,
ahead.
but I'll let you guys.
No, I want to.
So then Lenoci goes up and then he goes, sorry about that. He's whatever Lenoci said that I'm sure could have been better. and then he's very funny. Shout out to Mike Lenoci, very funny. But also I don't know. I don't go on the road with these guys. And he, did what he had to do to get the show going. And then Jason went on stage. And from what I can remember, from the back of the room, you did what every comedian who ever follows me does and goes, oof, talks about it for 30 seconds, and then goes into their act. Go ahead. You remember?
I don't know. I don't remember doing that.
Yeah, you did a little something.
Okay.
I didn't. It was fine, but I remember you doing well.
To reset the room.
Yeah, I remember you doing well and sitting in the green room thinking. Now, I realized that Brent, this was your show, and I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry for that.
Wow.
That being said, maybe you didn't know this. This was years ago. I've apologized to him many times.
He told
Awesome.
me. He did tell me that.
Many times. In my head, I'm used to doing shows to where I'm in the middle of the show. People are showing their dicks on stage. Everybody's the worst. And I go up there and I do something silly. And sometimes it goes great. And then a lot of times it goes bad. And then on to the next. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the awareness in that moment, which is I am a guest in someone's house. Take your shoes off.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a saying that I have where I love to gamble and I have every right to gamble, but I'm not allowed to gamble with somebody else's money. And in that moment, I didn't realize that was somebody else's money, and I was wrong for that. On top of that, what I did, if that's on tape, was a masterful set. Go on.
So, backstage, us as comedians were like, this is hilarious, but they don't get it.
Right.
And this was the funniest part. Our buddy John DeWalt was there.
He was not there.
Yeah, he was.
Was he? Was?
Oh, yes, he was.
John DeWalt was there.
Yeah, he was
100%
He wasn't in the
and
green room. He was in the audience.
Well, he came into the green.
Yeah.
Who's usually your biggest fan,
Yeah.
and he's in there going,
Yeah.
Rick's a genius. He comes into the green room and goes,
That was the most uncomfortable audience I'd
Yeah.
ever been in front of.
and I'm in there going, I gotta follow this. I gotta clean this up.
Yeah.
Even though they don't get it and it's hilarious,
Yeah.
I have to clean this up. And to Mike, average comedian Lenochi's credit. No, I'm just kidding, Mike. I love you. But
You got to say stuff like that. Why can't we just burn somebody?
I know.
Yeah.
He actually did a good job.
Yeah,
He did a good job. That's why I don't remember
I was a little
saying
proud of
anything
him.
afterwards. And then,
I
but-
never heard the set.
man, somebody, I can't remember who, somebody described it as.
Oh, no. I could say that part.
Okay.
I could say that part.
Okay, go.
That was when I was getting paid.
It was one of the employees at
The GM,
Yeah.
or when he was paying me, he goes, "What's up with your buddy the other night?" And I go, "Oh, I never saw the set. I was in the bathroom, if you remember, when it was going on. And then I came out, I'm just seeing the TV.
Yeah,
so I
it's
didn't
funny you were in
see
the bathroom. I was the one shitting on the stage.
But he said, I said, "What was it? What? And he goes, "It was like Michael Richards without the N-word."
That's what he said. He said he had his Kramer moment without the end.
I'll tell you something. If you have that set on tape and you title it "Comedian Has Meltdown Over Knock Knock Joke," it works.
It works.
Oh, yeah.
And it was
It would go viral.
very funny. Like, I appreciated it, loved it.
Now
But
hearing
I
it,
was like-
I never heard it.
But now I have, because we're not the same kind of comedian
Right.
at all. And
Which wouldn't matter, by the way, if they enjoyed themselves.
Exactly.
They just have to be having. Now they're in a bad place. Now they're hot and they need a fan.
Yeah.
at one point, when Lenoci went out and tried to clean up, somebody yelled, "We hate him."
We hate him. Oh, about me.
We hate him. Like, not. It didn't even sound like it was a joke.
not okay.
She sounded like she was crying.
Yeah.
Right.
We hate him.
There was
Right.
something because I
Jeez,
remember Mike
everybody
going, because
relax.
I walked down and I go, "What did happen?" And then as Mike went on, all I remember hearing, Mike was like, all right, guys. There's like, boo. And
Yeah,
he goes,
boo.
"All
So
right,
the
all
whole
right."
there was what was it,
Then I
300
heard
people
that.
Yeah.
booing.
Yeah.
We hate him. And then I heard somebody go, it's not okay. It's not
Yeah.
okay.
It's
and Mike
not
goes,
okay
all right,
what he
well,
just
calm
did.
down. Let me talk to you guys. And I thought, what happened out
Oh
there?
my God. That was.
So
You should have
It
taped
was
that,
fun.
though. That would have been a funny viral video, though. That would have gone viral. If that's the set.
So the way I remember it is I think at this point, from all perspectives, in the moment, first of all, I wasn't thinking about I might ruin somebody's show. I've never even thought of that before.
Yeah.
And secondly, I thought that worst case scenario, people aren't gonna like it. I didn't think that I would make them miserable. They just watch somebody
600 people.
They just watch somebody like break down crying
Yeah.
and like have a meltdown.
And they were upset.
Because they're human beings and they empathized with it in an interesting way. But I'm
also-
joking. And then by the end of it, I did the joke.
That's what was where it's like, come on, people.
Yeah.
When you said knock, knock
I
again.
coincidentally, I don't think, was it a knock knock joke? No, it wasn't. There was a set that I did in the improv lab. You were there where I was on stage and Brady was like heckling me, being playful.
Oh, the lab.
And I was leaning into it and acting like I was really, really mad at him. And it was how many blondes does it take to screw in a light bulb? I was just doing like some hacky, silly,
Right.
stupid joke. It might as well have been a knock knock joke, right? And then he heckles, so I lose my shit, and then he goes, okay, and everyone's tense, and then I go, let me just do my fucking act. And then I throw the stool, I
Yeah.
walk over to the mic, and I go, how many blondes does it take to screw in a light bulb? Right, it was something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And that set has over 1 million views on it.
people
and-
cheered and shit at, right?
No.
No.
People didn't know what it was. But here's the thing. People in an audience don't know what things are because, as human beings, whether they realize it or not, they have expectations of comedy show.
Right.
But when you watch something on YouTube, you don't have the same expectations. I have a mindset of everything is imagine if. So when
Right.
I put it online, it has however many thumbs up and thumbs down. It's about half
It's
thumbs
about
up and half thumbs down.
It's pretty
The half
crazy.
thumbs up are that's so funny, he's obviously joking. And half thumbs down are this dude is never going to make it if that throws him.
Oh my God.
And it's just, I am not going to ever have stadium audiences because there's too many people that aren't going to like what I do.
See, I pictured it perfect if you just said, after the whole thing in Irvine and at the end, and you said, can I do the joke? And you said, knock, knock.
Who's there?
And the whole audience went, who's there? And you just went, good night. And the place, that would have been beautiful.
Yeah, maybe I dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I remember that Brady show. Was that was in the improv lab when it was the normal lab, or was that the show where we were doing
No.
the self-sabotage show? No?
No, that was in the self-sabotage, within months
Yeah.
of that when we tried a few of them.
Because that was like Andy Kozel, me, you, Santino,
John.
John, and we would do that chaos because we had one of our favorite shows of all time in front of 2 people once, and then coming back and trying to do it.
We always try to have like this chaotic show.
Yeah, where it goes out of control, where somebody plays a villain, so we play the villain in the audience. Do
you remember
be
those
like,
one
it's
where-
just bullshit?
was-
I'm supposed to be on stage now, and then it.
Do you remember I almost got into a fight with a guy there?
because we had to pull you out, and you go, somebody's got to tell him this is a joke. Or I'm gonna have to fight him. That's what he said. It was Brady's friend, I think. No. It was Andy Kozel's friend.
I don't know
think.
whose friend it was.
But
It
he
wasn't
was like,
mine.
somebody's got to tell him. Somebody's got to tell him. And he was a big guy. He goes, I'm gonna have to fight him. That's the only way out of this.
I want to show the
when you're in the bit,
the
you know?
meltdown clip.
Yeah.
Don't. You know what? Maybe I'm doing something on purpose. Maybe I'm setting up a fucking situation and you're not helping me. I get the comedy you're doing, but turn the music off and let me do what I'm fucking doing.
Rick, I have a question.
Yeah. I'm being serious. Do me a favor. Quick, turn the music off.
Okay, all right, then I forget it.
Why, did you tell him to do, is that why it's funny? You have a question for me in the middle of my
I was just-
fucking act?
no, I-
There's really everything had an order what I was doing, and there's no recovery for it. So why don't you indulge the audience and tell me what your question was, you fucking dick?
I said a question, bro.
Go ahead, ask your question.
How's your night?
It was great. I had stuff in order. And guess what? I knew when I said I went to summer camp, oh no, it was regular camp. I did that on purpose, dude.
So alt.
Shit pisses me off. Let me do my fucking act. How many blinds does it take to screw in a light bulb?